Over a year ago, I had this idea for a very silly commander deck. The commander of that deck was Lauren, disciple of history, but this deck was really built around the card Clown Car. Well, actually, it was built around Clown Car and Wand of the World Soul. I call this deck Convoking Clown Car over and over. The play pattern of this deck was to cast Clown Car, use some maneuvering to get it back into my hand, and then replay Clown Car using the Wand of the World Soul to have my Robot Clown tokens convoke the Clown Car to create even more Robot Clown tokens, rinse and repeat. The problem is that this deck proved too janky. Lauren required me to get Clown Car in the graveyard, which means I would usually have to sacrifice Clown Car and play a legendary creature to get Clown Car back into my hand. I did end up taking this deck apart, but since then a number of cards have come out that have made me want to revisit this idea. First off, I replaced Lauren in the command zone with Ambrosia Whiteheart. Ambrosia is the only mono-white legend that lets you return any permanent you control to your hand on entry. This means that I would no longer have to finagle Clown Car into my graveyard to get back to hand. Secondly, this also meant that I can just use much cheaper Flicker or Blink spells to retrigger Ambrosia to bounce Clown Car when I want the latter back in my hand. Ambrosia also has the advantage of being 2 mana cheaper than Lauren, which is not nothing. One of the newer cards I want to highlight for this deck is Perry Brown, from the Doctor Who set. Perry works as a backup Wand of the World Soul, as she also lets you convoke a historic spell, which Clown Car is. There's also been a few more tutors for finding Clown Car in much more recent sets. Tezzeret Cruel Captain from Edge of Eternities, as well as Delivery Moogle from Final Fantasy, can both find the 0 mana vehicle in the library. I also briefly considered running From Father to Son, but as that card has no other targets in the deck aside from Clown Car, whereas the two I already mentioned could also find Skull Clamp or Soul Ring, I decided against it. A couple of noticeable differences between this new deck I'm working on and the old Lauren deck. That old deck was also about X spells in general, whereas this deck is focused on just the one. As a result of that change and for budget considerations, I'm also not including token doublers in my list since they only have the one card in my deck to interact with. How does this deck win? There's a few cards in the list aimed at ultimately ending the game. Moonshaker Cavalry and Starlight Spectacular for combat-based victory, and Halo Fountain for an alternative win con. At the time of recording, I still haven't physically put this deck together. That is going to happen sometime after MagicCon Atlanta, where you can catch me playing games. I am not going as a creator, but I still love attending these events and look forward to seeing everyone there. I'll post links to the deck list both on Architect and Moxie in the description for you to check out, and please wish me luck with this deck.